Welcome back. I am your host, the Susan Anime O'Hagan. And today we're gonna be talking about Poor Unfortunate Soul, which is a Disney villain story about Ursula, the Sea Witch. Poor Unfortunate Soul, A Tale of the Sea Witch is a novel written by Serena Valentino, the writer of Fairest of All, A Tale of the Wicked Queen and the Beast Within, A Tale of Beastie Prince. Based on The Little Mermaid, it served as a backstory for Ursula the Sea Witch and explains her past relationships with King Triton, her place in the kingdom of Atlantis, and what caused her to be banished from there, as well as the events that led to her demise. Poor Unfortunate Soul is the 16th episode of the 4th season of the American fantasy drama series Once Upon a Time, which aired on March 2015. Okay, so I kind of went back and forth trying to figure out different things about Ursula and her story all together. So that's why you might be getting a little bit of both, like from the story and like her actual place. In Neverland Realm, Hook and his crew heard a mermaid song, which distracted them until they almost strike a series of rocks. Around the same time, the father of the sea, Poseidon, scolded his daughter, revealed to be Ursula in her youth, for ending the song just in time for the Jolly Roger to escape. Later on, a tavern during a port stop, Hook recognizes the same tune being sung by Ursula and offers her a drink. She explains to Hook that her father kicked her out of his kingdom for disobeying him. So she stole a magical bracelet that allowed her to walk on land. Ursula also reveals that her mother was killed by a pirate. So I'm just talking about a little different Ursula. Hello. Why is this thing still being weird? Okay, so I did different things about Ursula, like different stories and different facts about her. This isn't just the book. Because I was like, I need more info on her. Because the book just didn't have enough. Okay. Which is why Poseidon demands Ursula use her voice, the only thing that reminds her of her mother, to steer the ships away. Hook tells Ursula that listening to her voice was the only thing that has ever taken away his lifelong pain. She shares her plan to sing in Gloria Heaven, and he offers to take her there on a ship. Poseidon learns of this and instructs Hook to remove Ursula's ability to sing by using a seashell in order to ensure that she will never leave the ocean, in exchange for giving Hook a vial of squid ink, which Hook can use to paralyze his enemies. Rumpelstiltskin. Later, Hook returns and tells Ursula about her father's plan. Although he refuses to break his personal code, Hook asks Ursula to steal the squid ink from her father's storage. Ursula agrees, only to have Poseidon catch her, and in return for Hook betraying him, takes away his only chance to seek revenge on Rumpelstiltskin. Hook then counters by stealing Ursula's singing voice to hunt Poseidon. After Hook leaves with Ursula's singing voice, the rift between father and daughter continues, prompting an enrage Ursula to snap and use Poseidon's trying to transform herself into a powerful sea goddess for which Ursula was named after, only stronger and more powerful than her father. At Golden Remote Cabin, Regina, Maleficent, Cruella, and Ursula start interrogating adult August Booth about the author. He explains that he stole the research of a man in Hong Kong named the Dragon and that the research is still currently in Storybrooke. Gold heads to August's trailer to get the research, and Regina uses her magic to briefly take over Margaret's body to tell Emma Swan. Okay, I'm so confused. I thought I did a whole thing on Ursula and not a whole thing on the other stuff. Wait. Okay. The Tale of the Sea King's Daughter is King's Daughter. Ariel is a beloved one of losing and the finding one's own voice. The story has been told many times in many ways, but always the Mergirl wants more than her world can offer. Offer her. Well, right now I'm just exporting because I have to do it in 4 pieces. I'm typing in the name of what I want to call it so I can find it when I'm done. Do you like my dress? I have strapless, actually they're clear straps, so I guess you could kind of see it up close, but like far away you can't really tell as much, so I kind of like that. Like, you don't know I'm wearing a bra, which is so cool. Which, of course, I'm not saying that on my podcast. That'd be insane. But because you are my Patreons, you all get to hear exclusively weird stuff. I also got this dress from Walmart, believe it or not. Super cute, isn't it? Okay, now we're going to continue with my podcast. Okay. The story has been told many times in many ways, but always the Mergirl wants more than her world can offer, and her father demands that she live within the confines of his domain. Her rebelliousness cost the Little Mermaid her voice, and nearly her soul. Okay. But the power of the good prevails, and Ariel emerges proud and unchanged. And yet is only half the story. So what of Ariel's nemesis, Ursula, the Sea Witch? What led her to become so twisted, scorned, and filled with hatred? Many tales have tried to explain her motivation. Here is one account of what might have shaped the Sea Witch into a disdainable and poor, unfortunate soul. Ursula is mentioned and appeared in the 2nd book of the series by Serena Valentine, The Beast Within: A Tale of Beauty and Prince, the Tale of Beauty Prince, appearing before the Odd Sisters. She is the main character in the 3rd book. Prior to the events of the book, Ursula appears in the English town of Ipswich, Ipswich, and the process to inflict pain on the citizens of the town and turn them into twisted sea creatures before being stopped by King Triton. Years later, Ursula, in her genuineness as Vanessa, her human form as Vanessa or Mermaid, goes to the Odd Sisters and asks for help to defeat Triton, who in the book is Ursula's brother and therefore makes Ursula Ariel's aunt. Dang! In exchange for helping them find their sister, Circe. Unknown to the Odd Sisters, Ursula has turned Circe into one of her polyps, Polyps, and is keeping her captive in her cave. Initially, the Odd Sisters help her, but upon discovering that Ursula is keeping Circe captive, they turn on her and use their magic to influence Eric's ship to impale Ursula and kill her as revenge for keeping Circe captive. Taping it in, putting number 2. Taping it in, putting number 2. Do. And yes, I have to wear this because it's connected to my computer, but not to all of you. Okay. Circe is freed after this and discovers Ursula's golden shell. After finding out that her sisters killed Ursula, she banished them to sleep to keep them from harming anyone else. In the 4th book, Mistress of All Evil, a tale of the Dark Fairy, Circe and Annie gather Ursula's remains and give her a burial at sea prior to Maleficent's arrival. See which a Cecaeli, meaning she is a half-human, half-octopus. Ursula is not related to Ariel and King Triton in the movie. Ursula did live in the royal palace at one point in her life, but she isn't related to any of the royal family, and that is all we know about her time in the palace. She had family ties to King Triton and Ariel, but that was only in the pre-production draft of the story of the animated film. In this version, Ursula is King Triton's sister, a concept of the original film that was eventually dropped. When Ursula and Triton's father died, the pair were given equal share of the sea plus 2 magical items. Triton receives the Triton, while Ursula received the magic Nautilus shell. Then, how many legs does Ursula have? Ursula's only drawn was 6 tentacles due to the studio's budget and difficulty in coordinating 8 tentacles. Thus, she has 8 limbs if you include her arms. Pat Carl has stated that this makes her a squid, though biologically she still remains an octopus for more than any other sea creature. Are Maria and Ursula related? Unlike Ursula and Morgan, Maria is a mermaid, just like the film's protagonist Ariel. Ursula, also known as the Sea Witch, is the main antagonist of the Disney's 1989 animated feature film The Little Mermaid. Maria is the governess of Ariel and her sister. She's voiced by Broadway actress and director Sally Field. In the same way, why did Ursula want Ariel's voice during the song Poor Unfortunate Soul? Ursula asked Ariel for her voice, saying that men only want silence and obedient women, but secretly in an attempt to make sure Eric won't be able to recognize her to fall in love with her, to which Ariel agrees and signs the contract. In early drafts of the script, Ursula is Triton's sister. This is also the case in the movie, novelization, and in the stage musical, but the movie itself never mentions any relation between them, although Ursula does say that she lived at the palace before Triton banished her. Okay, polyps. Polyps is a abnormal growth of tissue projecting from a mucous membrane. If it is attached to a surface by a narrow, along stalk, it is said to be pedunculated. If it is attached within a stalk, it is said to be sessile. Polyps are commonly found in the colon, stomach, nose, ears, urinary bladder, and uterus. They may also occur elsewhere in the body where there are mucous membranes, including the cervix, vocal folds, and small intestine. Some polyps are tumors, others are non-neoplastic, for example, hyperplastic or diaplastic, which are beginning. The neoplastic ones are usually beginning, although some can be pre-malignant or concur with a malignance. Okay, so that is what Ursula turns people into. I was trying to figure out what the heck is she turning these people into. She's turning them into this thing, and I'm like, what is this? Are you crazy? What is this thing that you're turning them into? Crazy lady. Ow. So right now I'm just doing what I always do. Do. I'm so boring. I'm so sorry. Okay, file, hit new, file, hit exit, hit no, file, hit start back up. Okay, now we go back to speaking voice instead of me just being me. Ursula's Garden. Ursula's Garden is her collection of polyps that hung around the main entrance to her lair. Each was once a miserable merperson who came to her for help in some matter, but couldn't afford her high demands, leaving them helpless before her power, taking the form of a polyp. There's firmer mer people are small plant-like animal hybrids that just sit on the ocean floor crying in agony and occasionally being fed dead fish by Ursula. They will usually be just a head attached to a stalk with roots, but sometimes may just be a head in the ground. These polyps have molted green skin and yellow eyes. They often vary in size, which can stretch when they are surprised. Certain polyps may have extra appendages, such as tentacles that may be dangling and long or short but bulgy. Ursula the polyps will resemble the mer person it once was, but in a more twisted way, such as the female polyp having female lips and noticeably eyelashes. Some of the males have beards. Personality. There are harmless individuals who spend their time screaming agony in Ursula's lair. While their individual personalities can't be fully distincted, considering how Ursula often preys on those who are desperate, a good deal of them would be merfolk who let themselves get caught up in their desires, but couldn't find the inner strength to